Big howdy from Texas, y'all. If you have perused this week's reading assignments, you will have encountered a few paragraphs about Inter-Varsity Christian Fellowship in Revive Us Again. I'm going to do a superficial dive into that organization, but first, some background. The modernist controversies of the late 19th into the 20th century were international in scope. Charles Haddon Spurgeon railed against the prevalence of biblical higher criticism and Darwinism and the downgrading of biblical authority and the sovereignty of God, especially among Baptists in Great Britain, leading to his leaving that denomination in the 1880s. During the interwar period of the early 20th century, Dietrich Bonhoeffer was a profound critic of modernism and its illegitimate child Nazism in Germany. Out of this philosophical, theological milieu, a student movement began in 1877 on the campus of Cambridge University when some students began meeting together to begin Bible study, prayer, and mutual encouragement for evangelizing the gospel of Christ. It became affiliated with the student Christian movement of Great Britain. In late 1928, a cadre of theologically conservative students left the SCM over the encroachment of modernistic trends and began Inter-Varsity Fellowship. Missions was and is a hallmark of the organization. The IVF UK funded a one-way ticket for Dr. Howard Guinness to travel across Canada's universities to help students organize Bible study, prayer groups, and training for student leaders. InterVarsity Canada was officially organized in 1929. American students began communicating with the Canadians for assistance in forming their own chapters, and the University of Michigan was the first so organized. InterVarsity Christian Fellowship USA was officially organized in 1941. As early as 1945, the organization forbade racial segregation at its events. 1946 witnessed the first of what was to become the triannual Urbana Student Missions Conferences, which are still fertile grounds for encouraging mission support and recruitment. IVCF became a founding member of International Fellowships of Evangelical Students in 1947. IVFES has member chapters in every region of the globe and in nearly all countries. IVCF USA began InterVarsity Press Publishing House that same year with a focus on scholarly work. IVP has two divisions, one for more popular works and IVP Academic for more scholarly publications. IVCF is prominent on most major campuses to this day. A few major points relating to the focus of this discussion board are as follows. IVCF is not affiliated with any denomination. Their ecumenism is well established, but its staff is delimited to acknowledgement of the sovereignty of God, the authority of the Bible, and the gospel of Jesus Christ as to his substitutionary and atoning death on the cross and his resurrection, among other doctrinal statements. They are evangelical with a significant tilt towards Reformed tradition. Unlike most resistance to the modernistic trends of the 20th century, they did not advocate wholesale withdrawal from academia, the establishment of insular Bible colleges, nor did they become anti-intellectual. They stayed in the heart of liberal, modernist academia. Reason, scholarship, and apologetics, founded upon God's sovereignty and biblical authority, have been their focus, and they have not historically been drawn into grand public controversies. Most historical newspaper references to IVCF are simple announcements of meetings, times, locations, and speakers. They have multiple sub-organizations, such as Nurses Christian Fellowship, which is unique in that it is also a professional support organization for nurses. Each campus chapter has its own cultural style depending on the character of the student body, but they all teach and present the Bible as authoritative and the gospel as central. Their ministry has rescued countless young minds full of mush from the pits of secular humanism. I am one so indebted to that ministry. Below, please check out the minuscule sampling of IVP authors. Some of them should be familiar to most of you. I highly recommend that you check out the works of any or all of them. Also, there is a resource list and links to some of the various organizations I have mentioned. Live long and prosper, Kurt.